Hey y'all, I'm taking on the wild and crazy task of cleaning out the Greenstalk today. And the one I'm working on is the one in the backyard, the basket weave that I've been saying for a couple of weeks that I needed to go ahead and reset. I did pick up a couple of calibrichoas and some strawberries that I want to put into this Greenstalk, and I'm going to probably do some potatoes, and I don't know what else I'm going to end up putting in it. It's just going to depend on how much stuff I'm actually taking out of it. I do think I'm going to go ahead and take out the tomatoes that are here. They're not all ripe, but there's enough of them that are ripe that I don't really care. These tomatoes are tired. They've been in here since, I want to say September. And that's enough. I've got more tomatoes that are going to be coming out, and there's really no point in me trying to hold on to these guys. So you can see this Greenstalk is really, it's ready. It's ready. And I'm sorry guys, I don't know what the heck I did with my selfie stick, but I'm gonna just open this up. So there's a few tomatoes that are still in here. I mean, they're ripening, but these tomatoes are spent. And I am seeing a pepper that is producing in here. I'm not really sure how, but I'll take it. But that's going to be my task for today. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing broken down. I'm going to take it around to the garage, and we'll work in there. Let's start off by taking anything that can be eaten off of these plants, and then we'll get to the hard part. With the tomatoes out of the way, I'll go ahead and get these stakes out, and then I'll start removing all of the watering discs, and then we'll get to stripping out any of the leftover plants. The mustards, I am going to keep most of the roots in the mix, and also kind of shred up the leaves and add them back as I refresh the soil. Mustards do help with repelling root knot nematodes, so I want to keep that goodness in the pot and let it become a part of the compost. Most of these greens look pretty good. They're clean for the most part. There is a little bit of soil backsplash on them. There is a little bit of heat damage to a few of them, and a few look like they did have some bugs that were chewing on them, but there's no signs of the bugs anymore other than the damage that they left to the leaves. Anything that looked like it was good enough to eat, I put those in a basket for inside the house, either for us or for the guinea pigs to eat. And everything else is going to be shredded up and put into the compost. I didn't realize that I still had a pepper that was producing in this green stalk. I thought I had pulled out all of the peppers, and apparently I missed one. And so, this one that is left here, I'm going to take off the damaged leaves and I'm going to transplant it into the raised bed at the front window where the rest of the peppers are, and let this thing go ahead and finish producing. And then I'll pull it at the end of the season if it's not looking too good. For each tier, I'm going to go through the same process of emptying all of the soil out into my gorilla cart and amending it with earthworm castings, bone meal, rock phosphate, chicken manure, and magnesium sulfate. This will just help to add back the nutrients that any of the older plants have sucked out of the soil. But as you can see, it's a really dark soil. It still retains moisture. It's nothing wrong with it. You can reuse your soil as long as you don't have any diseases going on. If you notice that you were losing a lot of plants, you probably shouldn't reuse that soil unless you know that it was a watering issue, or maybe something mechanical that happened. An animal came by and ate them, or maybe you just damaged them walking past. I recommend going through this process for your green stalk at the end of every growing season, just so that it gives you a better idea of which tiers have been getting consistent water, which tiers are drying out the fastest. Gives you an idea of whether you've got any kind of clogs in your watering system, if your discs shifted at all. Um, the one mystery that you don't want to do is have a problem from a previous season carry over into the next one just because you're not taking your green stalk apart. Now, it is possible for you to just leave it and replant each pocket just as it is and throw a handful of fertilizer into each pocket. A lot of people do that and have success with it, but I personally don't recommend it just because I like to know what's going on. There are a lot of plants growing in this system, and there are many opportunities for things to go wrong. The potatoes that I'm planting in this tier are red potatoes that came from the grocery store. I don't really know what to expect with these. They are not potatoes that I purchased as seed potatoes. In fact, I don't even remember buying them. I think my mom may have brought them over to my house and left them here as a little surprise because she didn't know what to do with them. Going back to watering issues with the green stalk, I was growing tomatoes in several of my tiers. Earlier on in the season, I did lose a few of them, and they were pulled early. But the ones that I did still have in the system, those were the lower tier. That is the last tier to get water as everything drains through. And tomatoes are very, very thirsty plants. So, as expected, that tier was extremely dry. It needed to be rehydrated, and it's not something that I would have really realized unless I took apart the green stalk. So, any tiers that were a little bit dry, I did add water back to the mix as I amended it and stirred it in really good with the shovel before putting it back into the tier. I started a whole bunch of seeds really late in the season after having my seedlings killed by the cold that was very unexpected, and then having them be eaten down by rats several times. So I do have several collards and kales that I'm going to go ahead and get into this tier. I'm not sure how they're going to fare going into our summer, but collards and kale do have a little bit of heat resistance, and I'm going to keep them on the lower tier to give them some shade from the other plants that will be growing here in this green stalk. It is placed on the northwest corner of my house, so it does get quite a bit of direct sun. I'm going to try my best to curtail some of that heat by spinning this thing every day. I say it every time I do it, and I never spin it every day, but I'm going to work on that and see if I can get it done every single day to keep these plants alive. The remaining three tiers will be planted up with strawberries and calibrichoa. I wanted to try some flowers in a green stalk. I've never done flowers in my green stalks. I usually reserve them for vegetables. But I figured with the strawberries growing, they're not going to have a whole lot going on for most of the year, and they are perennial. So let me pop a little bit of color in here and kind of give the birds a little something to check out for bugs and maybe bring in a little bit of pollination action. Alright, y'all, so I finished up this green stalk a couple hours ago, but my husband distracted me with a bottle of Chardonnay and some strawberries and some tomatoes and snow peas from the garden. And I'm just here now trying to get this video finished up for you guys so you can see before the sun sets. So let me just turn it around. We've got it all stacked. You know, I need to find somewhere to put this pruner. I'm gonna put it over here. Oh no, my radishes. Let me just water the radishes really quick, y'all, because this is what they're looking like. Hold on one second. Alright, so this is what happens when you don't water your radishes. And the crazy thing is, I said to myself when I was doing the Tuesday tally, I need to go water these radishes. So these radishes have not had water, and God only knows how long, because it hasn't rained. Let's hope that if I water them pretty deep right now, they do okay and survive. The bad thing is each tier is a separate type of radish. So if these ones on the top don't recover, I just lost all of them. Alright. These containers are pretty shallow. It's not like I really got to do a whole lot to get it deep. Now I am seeing some shoulders on a couple. This looks like the French breakfast with shoulders there. And these really have been in long enough for most of them to be ready. I just kind of like to let my radishes get a little bit bigger, a little bit more peppery before I pull them. But I'm seeing shoulders here as well. Can you guys see that one? Alright, let me just hit these flowers with a little bit of water. And I'll hit these onions. Shift them over here. And I don't really know what's going on back here with these carrots, but I'll give them a little bit of water since I got the water out here. Alright, now let me make my way over to the Greenstalk. I'm hoping that I'm not sticking my fingers in the lens because it's kind of tough. Alright, so I got it all stacked back here, and I did do the potatoes on the top because I don't want to have to disassemble the entire green stalk in order to harvest them. The strawberries are perennial, so they should be okay. I can't really spin it because I got the water hose in it right now. The strawberry runners that I separated are wilting, but there is a possibility that they will root. If they do not, because most of them did not have a good root structure on them already, if they do not root, I'll just come back in and plant something else in here. I did go ahead and plant with every single pocket I believe I did two Blue Lake bean seeds in each pocket. Beans are a good companion plant for a lot of things, and of the things that are in here, I've got the collards and the kale, the calibrichoa, and the strawberries, all of which grow well with potatoes. I'm sorry, with beans, and also the potatoes on the top grow well with beans. So I went ahead and just did every pocket with some beans. So if we do lose these strawberries, it's not that big a deal. I will just come back in and plant something else in the place of them. But everything else is doing fine. I'm going to leave this cover on because I did take these brassica seedlings from inside the house, and I do expect a couple of them to be traumatized by coming directly outside. They did spend the night in the garage, but the sun on this side, this is the west side, so in the afternoon this thing gets blasted with sun, so anything on this facing side is going to have a hard time. Now I will come out here and try to spin it just to make sure everything gets equal sun, but I'm busy. I don't always get a chance to rotate like I plan to rotate. Got some strawberries growing here, looking good. Hopefully the birds don't come and get them before I get to eat them. But yeah, that's pretty much where I left off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this water off, and I didn't even get a chance to check on my corn today, but I am seeing a lot of tassels on the one container, which means I gotta get out here and pollinate. Yes, I am seeing ears. Let me turn the camera around and show you guys. I am seeing ears, and when ears show up, you've got about 2 weeks to get them pollinated. So those tassels there are looking great. We've got ears down here. I've got to get them pollinated, or we won't have filled out ears of corn to eat. Got a strawberry down here I'm gonna take so that the bugs don't get it. I don't know if there's any on here. There is one, but it's pretty much dead. It's not really one that we're going to be eating, so I'll leave that one. The zinnias are starting to open up, guys. They're starting to open up. And this was a mix, so I don't really know how many colors I'm gonna actually have, but it is a blend. These are not getting quite as tall as they should, but I'm expecting that as they grow, they will get a little bit taller and keep putting on blooms. Corn over here is getting a little tattered, but that's part of gardening. You know, everything can't be pretty. This strawberry is looking pretty good. I'm gonna eat this one before I go in the house because it's a little soft. It's a little past its prime. Very good. Very, very good. All right, y'all. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and get another video done tonight. I've got some more beans. Why do I keep saying the wrong vegetable? I got more potatoes that I need to get in grow bags, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that done tonight, and you guys will get to see that video this week. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know I'm a little scatterbrained sometimes. I promise that's just who I am. You get the raw me, and it's like we're friends. Other than that, guys, I have nothing else for this video. I will see you guys soon, very soon. Bye.